Sometimes you just don't want the song to end. Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the alert, TBD. Hope you had a great morning. Man. Whew. Okay, one thing at a time. So, I distracted myself this morning because I was trying to figure out a way to get my bass guitar hooked up to my PC for audio audio in, because I wanted to play some of the I wanted to record a bit today. And yeah, I spent way too much time on that and failed. I mean, it it works, but there's so much noise that I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, I have to figure it out one day. Today's not that day. I even tried going through my what is it called? The real tone cable that you get with Rocksmith, or that you can get for Rocksmith, I should say. And for some reason that was really, really, really quiet. So I need to figure out if it was my guitar or if it is actually the cable. So I'm going to try that later. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's my intro. So here is my screen. So welcome into the stream. What we've been working on is the redesign for the landing page of the financial management tracker, which is the project that we've been working on stream. We have gotten to a pretty good point with the responsive styles so far. We did the header and we did the hero. And I am aware of the horizontal scroll that shouldn't be there. I'm hoping that as we work through the remaining sections that we will be able to get rid of that horizontal scroll, which I think is being caused by the footer. Okay, so since we are done with the header, oh, by the way, the project is on GitHub at the link that I shared. And we're working in a branch called Task 52 Revamp Layout. Should be up to date with our latest code. I hope. My hope. Okay. So let's continue on, shall we? Oh dear. Why? I'm gonna try to fix this real quick. Hello, Z Films. I'm doing fantastic. I'm a little I distracted myself earlier, so trying to play catch up. Normally I'm like working all the way up until around 12:28, 12:29, run upstairs, get some water. But today I was trying to get some audio stuff set up and it was not working with me, so kind of dropped it. And then I forgot that I had updated some things in the bot, like coin flip and die roll. Oops. And I didn't know that Siri bot did roll die. I didn't know that Siri bot did coin flip too. So what do we do when automated realm spot nice. What do we do when automated realm spot gives us tails and Suribot gives us heads? Which one do we take? Oh, that's fun. I just disabled the coin flip on automated realms. So you update your bot so it did not rot for the most part. Yes. I did figure out how to actually republish my bot, but now I can't get it running as a service, so I have it running in Visual Studio. I don't know what I broke, but I didn't have time to figure it out. Where did Angie's sequel go? box. No. What was the name of my database? Do you want a lot of bots? No, I only want my one bot. Trust server certificate would be helpful. Interesting. I could have sworn my instance was called Angie SQL. It is. I don't know what. Oh, probably the trust server certificates thing. Automated Realms bot. Please connect. I don't know why I picked a specific database. And the bot commands. The data. And I'm gonna disable coin flip on mine. Here you are. Enabled. It is false. Cool. So now if we do coin flip, it should only be SiriBot. And Automated Realms still responds. Oh, duh. Automated Realms, refresh commands, please. Okay, now do coin flip. Oh, but I don't want you to respond. Is that what this is? That's disable count. I need an override. I need an override for telling it to not respond when it's unable to. Man, that's annoying. I don't want it to say that. Do you like tots? Do you like tater tots? Well, yeah, it has. So refresh. And flip. We'll keep it enabled until I figure out a way to tell it to not respond. But I do love tater tots. Do you like tater tots? As well as Mott's applesauce. Because everything we do here is open sauce. That's not the kind of music that I'm doing, but I can appreciate it. C Films, are you a lyricist? And of course, if I ever do call out any of your names and you don't feel like responding, there is absolutely no requirement, and I will not be offended if you choose not to respond. Okay, track transactions section in responsive mode, which I believe it has its own component now. Yes, responsive mode. And what does the markup look like? It's beautiful. Sure. Let's see what happens if we apply Copilot's suggestion. While I'm waiting for this to load, I will take a look at it. And it says our card wrappers are going to be flex direction column. Yes, we do want that. A gap of 1 font size in between the sections of the card. Wait, no. The card wrapper does not need to be anything. at all. Card wrapper is good. The card is the thing that needs to be flex direction column so that the card header and the card body are stacked on top of each other. And then the image width is going to be 100%. Why min width 100%? We'll figure out if that's actually a good thing or not. CD finding man wasm server.net watch. And then the body is going to be a max width of 100%. But wouldn't this 100% be of its contents when we're talking about a div? No, it should be of its container. And then the card text inside of it. Justify content center. No. You still need to be flex start. Don't get rid of the padding. And then the title. I don't think that I have a title in here, do I? Cards, do you guys have a title? You do have a title. Whoops. Well, let's not override the title yet. Title size. And then you're still always going to be flex direction column because we don't want to do column reversed. And then the card footer is going to stay gone. Okay, so that should not have broken the styles for the normal screen. So let's refresh and see what it looks like on responsive. Nice. I'm liking this. 1M might be a little too big for the gap. Or no, it's not the gap of that. It's the padding. Oh, we do need to get rid of the padding. Whoops. Padding top. I need to get rid of. Yeah. So is that on card text or is that on card body? It's on card text. Can C# do functional programming? I don't know. I doubt it. I need to know more about the differences between object-oriented and functional programming, and if they're even mutually exclusive or not. But the .NET language that is intended for functional language or functional programming is F#. So I wouldn't choose to try to do functional programming in C# because they already do have a solution for it. Okay. So is that closer to what the design looks like? Here is the design that we're working off of. And it looks like we're making the cards even thinner. So the cards really should be somewhere around. Let's do 30 characters. Yes, long live the chaos. Why can't I right click on this message? I was able to right click on the message before. Okay. Long live the chaos. Yay! Anyway, thank you so much for the oh, they even followed. How about We Where's the problem? You're 3 seconds too late. None of those. Spam, scam, or bots? Bot. Filling out these forms is so much fun. Okay. Reported and blocked. And how do I remove followers? I think banning, someone said, automatically removes followers. Functional programming is about immutable variables and does not use loops. Functions take an input value and produce an output value without being affected by the program. Yeah, I can understand that concept then, based off of the way that you said it. And you could do that with C#. You could write an entire application where you only do lambdas. You change the state of your starting value. And that starting value is immutable, and any variables that you create are also immutable. But it doesn't enforce it. You would just have to do that yourself. Keep track of it yourself. Okay. And then you are going to be display flex now. And then justify content center. And that didn't reload. Or it just didn't actually take effect. Where's your wrapper? My wrapper is... Oh, right. Okay, so you should already be display flex direction column. Got it. Okay, so this is actually a line item center. And the reason it's align items instead of justify is because in column, your flex basis is like this, and therefore justify content, which affects your flex basis, which affects your flex basis is affecting the vertical center, and then whatever the other thing is called is the horizontal centering, but that's for align items. Okay, well that looks more... Hello Zoosh, how have you been? Hope you're having a fantastic day today. I know I'm looking away while saying hi to you, but I got a response from Twitch already, and they said we've actioned your report. Okay, so I'm doing fantastic. I can't speak for everyone else, but I do hope everyone is doing well. Feel free to chime in. Man, I have too many windows open again. Okay, I was trying to get to the design. The other thing in this design is that the corners are not rounded, and the font size does look smaller for the headers there. But we want, first of all, this font size to match this font size. So in our hero, the title wrapper has a font size of... no idea. The title has a font size of H3. So we may as well make the font size on this track transactions, which is the section titles, to be font size H3. Is that actually... That's not in the header. Try again. It's in the body. It's in the card text. Oh my gosh. I got this. I got this. Okay, so card text, H1 title. Wait, what happened to section title? Didn't we just see? Oh, because it's not in a card. Wow. I'm doing well. Okay. Section, track transactions, which means that this section title is now going to get pulled up to index because we get our sections here. And this is where our font size bar, font size H3 goes. And that should fix this. I say fix, but what I really mean is I have no idea what happened to that window. What? Jeez. Right, because I bet you H3 is in M's. Are you guys M's? These guys are M's. And so currently the section title, well, poop. What am I going to do with that? Oh, duh. I wasn't actually targeting section title. And I'm still doing it wrong. I'll learn one day. Not doing that tastic today. Could use a fan. I'll be your fan. I'm your biggest fan, actually. It's too bad I'm not cooling. Cool. Why do you still look bigger than the other one? Your font size for section should be default font size, which is font size, base font size, which is currently 14. Then the section title is 2.488 M's. Oh, because that says H2, it's not getting overwritten by the H3. ¿Por qué no? Because I have the font size specified in here. It doesn't look like it. No. Interesting. Is it because I didn't save? No, it's not because I didn't save. Help! Okay, so this is getting overwritten by this one, which is index page section dot content. Okay, so this has more specificity. Got it. Ah, so it goes in here. And there we go. Like magic. All right. Then the other thing that we want is it's 28C inside of your house. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I would die. Oh man. Snabble's here. Hi, Snabble. He says in Norway the autumn is here, cold and rainy. Dang. Already. How the seasons have shifted. This is how it will be for 6 months now. Unless that's just normal for Norway. Norway. Sections. Are you Flex by chance? You are. So I want to change this to also be justify content like start. Okay, and is that what we have here? That is what we have here. So it's looking good so far as matching the design. Okay, we want the get started button to be the same as in the hero section, which is telling me that I want that pulled up to the index page. Norway is cold, darkness, and rain for 6 months. You know what? It's time for me to move to Norway. This sounds like a really, really nice place to be. It's my kind of weather. Dukasoft says it's 25 Celsius, 77 Fahrenheit inside, which is pretty typical, average. We keep it around 74, which is probably like 20 to 22. Norway also has fantastic nature. Would love to visit. So your license to fly your drone, is that only in Denmark? Or only in your city even? Or are you allowed to go to other countries and film now? Where the fantastic nature is, there are also mosquitoes. Blech. We don't have as many mosquitoes here because it's so dry, but when I lived in Missouri, it was bad. It was disgusting. It wasn't as bad as Puerto Rico, though. And every time I've gone to visit Puerto Rico, biggest complaint is flipping mosquitoes. Blech. That's in the EU as far as I'm aware. That is awesome. So if you ever do visit Norway, definitely take your drone if you can. Missouri, more like misery, am I right? I liked it there. It rained a lot. It was one really bad winter, maybe two, and a big flood. But anyway, my favorite place was Washington. It had the best combination of cool weather with rainy season and just overall raininess. I loved it that. All right, I think, oh, right, the get started button. Let's find out where the get started button is for the hero section. Button gets started. And let's see if we can pull this up to index. No, that's not a good place to put it. Apparently that's not a good place to put it. Oh, because that was specifically button hero getting started. So I'm going to put a class getting started on all of the buttons. And I do that how? By making this thing go away so I could see more butts. My username is short for something. So C Films is an abbreviation for something. And hello, Blue Blue. How have you been? I hope things are going fantastic for you. Getting started button. All right, track transactions. That is the wrong place. What I meant was the main hero. Where is main hero? Where is hero? Button getting started. You get a pasta. And the view transaction history would also have one, but you need the whole thing. So let's grab this entire attribute. Oh man, Thindle not recommended. He was watching this C# Fritz presentation at Sweet Hug, where he was showing essentially how to create a data grid component. Seal. C Alliance. Oh man, I used to be in a chat room website thing back when the internet was still young called the CEA, the Center for the Easily Amused. So I was about to say that, but center doesn't start with S. So the SEA, for those of you that are not aware, is are the organization of people that are trying to help the flat earthers understand that the earth is actually spherical, and they are the Spherical Enrichment Agency. Yeah. And they put on a lot of films and stuff, where films with the Z is actually not the visual kind. Man, I can't do it. Irish John is so good at that. I have no idea how he can go on for hours just doing topic expert. But anyway, so are you saying that C is actually an acronym, or is it an abbreviation? Like whatever it's short for starts with the word C? Or is it actually 3 words that start with S, E, and A respectively? Okay. Did I just pin it? That was an accident. Sounds like a monastery name. I wouldn't mind it. I would go to a monastery called the Spherical Enrichment Agency. They probably do sound baths. It's a word that starts with C. Seaside. That was Dukasov's guess. Search. Okay. Now that we have getting started button, we should be able to target it in our index. Come on. Nada. I'll say that it was hot reload. I mean, CSS autosync, but it's not. Getting started button. Align self-centered. Yeah, so the issue is that once again, we are not being as specific as the other rules. It's short for a place. Seattle? Seattle. Blue got it too. Because I was just talking about Washington. That's why Seattle came to my mind. Yatta. So, are you actually in Washington? I used to live in Spokane. Man, I loved it. Main hero. Where is your button? Show me your button. Question is, did I really? Oh, I was like, did I really turn him down all the way? I didn't think that I turned Big Gamey down all the way. Although, now that I think of it, I can't even hear the music anymore. I heard it earlier. I think my ears are gone. What happened at ears? I don't think I'm connected to my PC anymore. I developed a Northwest US media website with focus on movies. Awesome. Well, you are absolutely welcome to share anything that you would like. The website itself, you are definitely welcome to self-promote. Like if you want us to see the work that you do. I don't know if we'll be watching the films if you have like demos and stuff on the site, but my headphones are being really weird, so it's kind of distracting. Let me turn off my Bluetooth. It's a cross between IMDb and Wikipedia for the Northwest US. And do you target specific size productions? I could not think of that word. Like, definitely get the films filmed in the Northwest, but are you specific to certain size productions? I already said that. The website is cfilms.com. Yeah, let's take a look. Greater Seattle Area Media and Data Tool with focus on movies. Start quiz. 10 Things I Hate About You. What? That was filmed in Washington? So yes, any production size. That's really cool. Actors born in Seattle. So all things film related, it has to do with Seattle. When was the last time you had Spaghetti OS? Do I know what Spaghetti OS is? Is that a real thing? SpaghettiOs. You put it as 2 words. This is a software development channel. Forgive me for going directly to operating system. I have not used Spaghetti OS. I'm sure it's a thing, But the last time I ate SpaghettiOs was actually, so my preference was Chef Boyardee, by the way. I don't really like the SpaghettiOs sauce flavor, and there are people that prefer the uh, SpaghettiOs sauce flavor. I have a fact about Spokane. Ooh, interesting. And thank you so much for the follow. We are looking at a website that C Films is a part of developing, or is the developer of, and it's all about films in the Northwest region of the United States, I assume. But I told him that I used to live in Spokane. I actually used to live in Spokane Valley, but he has a fact on, or they have a fact on their site regarding Spokane. And I don't remember if we went to a theater while we were in Spokane. Board game hangout store. This is something that I would have looked at. The library. Yeah, we didn't really go outside very much. Hi. You have my GitHub here. So are you saying you want us to look at your GitHub, or that's an intro. That is one heck of an intro. Usually I like to be, taken out on a first date at least before being shown a GitHub. Is this your own animation? Because this is really cool. I like this a lot. Francisco Maria Calisto, PhD in computer science and engineering from Instituto Superior Técnico at University of Lisbon. He is a HCI. Oh, awesome. So your focus is mostly on human interaction with AI specifically. What? A moment, please. My parents are from Puerto Rico, and I can fake like I have a Spanish accent every now and then, but I have a very American accent for being raised by two Puerto Rican speaking people. I have the most inspirational chat. What do you mean? I am in Denver, Colorado area. But yeah, this is one of my, like, I tried for a really long time to get my head around, or not even to get my head around. I'm sure I could get my head around it, but to spend more time looking at HCI type stuff, specifically natural language processing, with the intent of creating an AI assistant back when AI assistants weren't as big of a thing, and now they're all over the place and easy to get your hands on, and I'm so happy about that I don't really have to learn all that much to be able to write an application using the tools of AI. But also in health informatics, Master of Engineering in CE, qualified experience. Yeah, I'm just really interested in what kind of stuff do you actually do? Agriculture to advertisement. This stuff is really interesting to me. Your open source profile. Is this your Do you have this on GitHub Pages? Yes, you do. Much better presentation. Nice. Did you design all this yourself? I mean, it is a very simplistic design, and I don't mean that in any kind of negative way. It's very clean and very nice to read. Ah, you used a template. Well, I like the template. I don't necessarily like the colors because my colors, as you can see, are mostly purples and juicy colors, as I call them before. All right. You have your own brand called Opper. And C-Film says, I am the solo dev on the C-Films website. Awesome. And thank you so much for being here, Blue Blue. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Your opera.io is down. Following the above. Yeah, so I graduated from Kansas State University where we had a lot of agriculture type stuff. I'm kind of wanting to get away from that now. You collaborated with a startup called A Group. This looks so this is kind of tangential, but really doesn't have much to do with it. I'm tickled by this. No. You guys change it. How do I get around? How do I get to my projects? Jeez. I designed a human resources site a while ago, and the person's colors were green and light green. And I was like, this kind of looks like a nature or agriculture. It's silver. Oh my gosh, it's royal purple and silver, not gray. I'm kidding. I don't take any offense to that. Man, this is we're turning this into a Friday community day stream. You guys really should come on Friday and share your stuff. But since I have gone to other people's sites, I will not leave you out. A promover una rega maíz sustentable. I don't think I know this word, but I'm assuming it has to do with sustainable. Eficiente. Is this... Yeah, what dialect of Spanish is it? Because I don't recognize it. There's a lot of words that are the same, but Puerto Rican Spanish uses quite a few different words. Andreas Sastev again. Hello, welcome in. But yes, I will definitely look at your site, Matt Kdev. Give me a second. Let me say hi to everyone. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope you're having a great day so far. I was lurking with you in Andreas's stream. I was even there for yesterday's birthday stream. Looked like you're having a ton of fun. I will update instinct colors, royal purple and silver. We had an awful time today. Nothing was working, but I mean, it still could be fun, you know? I do enjoy hanging out on your stream. We got a new viewer in today, and he gave us his GitHub page, so I was just looking at it and clicking on things. They're into HCI. I was about to say HIC. HCI. And Matt also shared his website with the nice little hover effect and this background that is particle type thing. Actually, it kind of looks more like a living graph. Ugh, this makes me think of a programming problem. The the one that my eye got drawn to immediately was this one going pretty much straight up and down. Are they affecting each other as far as any kind of gravitational pull? But man, yes, good colors. I love these colors, obviously. By the way, for any of you that are coming in from Andreas's raid, first of all, thank you for any follows. I am a .NET dev that is typically working on Blazor applications, so full-on applications, whether they be desktop, mobile, or web. Shh, we don't talk about the off-camera breaking. I broke stuff off camera today. Ooh, yes, I like this. And what's the animation look like if I click on this? I'm slightly distracted, but I will be right with you. Passion for programming, originated from game development, love challenging and fun projects, and looking back how it was an empty repo in the beginning. Oh, is this your GitHub? That's your LinkedIn. This doesn't make sense to me. I love creating challenging and fun projects and looking back how it was an empty repo at the beginning. I'm currently working as an undergrad software dev. Yummy. I guess this is more .NET purple as opposed to K-State purple. Ooh. Projects. I like portfolio pages like this. So yes, I can put this in my list of things to go through to on Friday stream, because this is more of a community day type thing where we can look deeper into it, and I'd be really interested in it. But I will get back to the raid, and 8 bits per play is here and saying things too, and I want to give everyone a shout out. Shout out for Andreas, who I am very thankful for your raid. Andreas is an application developer as well. Game developer, application developer. He's making his own game engine. Sounds like he broke all the things. I think I'm gonna raid and run, no worries. You are always welcome to go about your day and do whatever it is that you need to do. I need to take a break and do something fun. Please do. And then 8 bits per play will give you a proper shout out soon, who is a Unity developer working in advanced features, and lately I saw him working on improving the sprite system and doing so via his own game that he's developing on stream, which is really cool. If you want to say anything, Andreas, if you want to say anything more about what you do on your stream, please feel free to. Once again, I am One Lion. I am a .NET developer working in Blazor. Our stream project is the one that I linked to on GitHub. It is open source. We're currently in a branch called Task 52 Revamp Layout, because we are redesigning the landing page and the overall design of the website, web application. What it used to look like is this. I came up with 3 designs. One of them was a neumorphic style, and then the other 2 are flat designs with 2 different color theme-ish type things. And I kind of just threw it together. I really wanted to go from the very beginning doing the full-on design work. I wasn't as comfortable in Figma as I am now at the time that we started it, but then I got very comfortable in it because part of my the job that I had at the time was working a lot in Figma, and so I learned the tool a little bit better and started applying things better. So anyway, we went through and created the whole application. You can see all the videos on YouTube if you are interested in them. It's mostly me just talking with you guys and doing a little bit of software dev, but definitely feel free to check them out if you want. That tells you the story behind how we chose the financial management tracker, as well as the design process and the implementation. and then the redesign process, somewhere around video 190, 100, 210, somewhere between those. We started redesigning the user interface after having everything working functionally, and did all the Figma designs and everything for the landing page. And now we are implementing these design changes, and that's where we currently are. So Andrea says, yes, absolutely, except that off camera, everything breaks more. MOAR. Oh, after 8-Bits said to Andreas, remember the streaming saying, remember the streaming saying, your stream, nothing works. You stop stream, everything works. And then Andreas said, absolutely, except that off camera, everything breaks more, even more. Bunch of ducky on fire. This is fine. And then 8-Bits says, shh, we don't talk about the off-camera breaking. And then 8-Bits also said, straight up ended a stream yesterday and literally fixed my issue I was stuck on within 2 minutes. I think I was able to log in and lurk on your stream. You started late in my day, and I was already hanging out with my wife. Actually, I was working on music a lot last night after the stream. So, yeah. And to that, Andrea says, I say quack. But that's okay, Dukasoft. I appreciate any amount of things that you do. You don't ever have to do anything, but I really, really appreciate it whenever you do happen to do stuff. But I am going to shout out 8-Bits per Play, who is, like I told you, a really fantastic streamer, really fantastic developer, really cool technologies. Yeah. So, and going insane doing shit. This is 8-Bits. Oh wait, up here. I got to try .NET MAUI. Now they fixed the bug that prevented me from trying out .NET 9. That's cool. And going insane doing shaders to make UI by pure math. Learn how to make SDF fields for UI for both desktop and web development. Going to inject shader code into Blazor UI. That sounds like fun, I guess, ish. Andrea says, I mainly do roll your own X stuff on my channel, and for the past few months, I've been making my own data-driven game engine in C# using Raylib for the rendering. That's so cool. You guys work in really, really fun and interesting technologies. I'm just doing web dev. I mean, I would call Blazor a really cool and fun and interesting technology, but for a lot of people, it's just another way to do web dev. What's so special about web dev? And I can't get enough of it. I really, really, really enjoy it. And Snabble, as most of you may know, does work in shader languages as well, and really, really low-level languages. Said to 8-Bits, love me some SDF. And Duke says, can you tell my boss that I don't have to do anything? Yes, absolutely. Sure can. In fact, I just did. Okay, where were we? This is code. We were drinking more water, apparently. I set it down, and now I have to drink more. But I'm not mad about that. Oh, I love me water. Hello, Juan Van. And Clayman. Oh, man. I didn't see you slip in there. Wow. I saw you over on Big Gaming Stream too. Has it been long enough? Can we shout out Clayman? Clayman Dev. As many of you know, Clayman Dev is a slipping through the cracks. It's because your name is the same color as Stream Elements. And my name, maybe? Yes, it worked. Okay. Clayman is a Unity developer as well, working on a game called Epic Hero Game. And Dukasoft's bot has the best, most helpful Clayman link, everything information about the game. Definitely wishlist it on Steam. That goes a long way, I hear, for indie and solo developers, solo game developers. Get the word out. Yeah. Duke is so awesome. Do you know of IQ's site? Asks Snubble. He has tons of ready to go SDFs. All right, so here is where we are with our redesign. We did the top bar for this responsive mode. We did the hero, and we're finishing up on the track transaction section. I'm trying to target these buttons. And the thing that's happening is that they are getting overwritten by other rules because of specificity. So I need to get rid of those rules. Okay, so that fixes that rule. And that is in title wrapper. Interesting that it got less big. And it's probably because I haven't actually specified the rule for it yet. Okay, there we go. So now all buttons get this rule. I think the track transactions page has a rule as well. Or not. Interesting. Is it in section maybe then of index? No, section. Okay, then what is causing you to stay align self flex start? Align self is not going to be recognized here. Why not? Is it because you are not display flex? Or your container is not display flex? The parent is displayed block? No, it's not. Yes, it is. What would happen if I made your container display flex with, yeah, let's do that. So section specifically for the track transactions here is going to be display flex. Flex direction column, justify nope. Align items because we want them horizontally centered. So this is what Copilot gave us the last time. Whoops. And I was like, no, we don't need that on the container. And then we'll put a gap in between each of 1M. Yeah, that's better. Oh, the contrast between this section and the top of the next section is not very big. And I think it might just have to do with the space between the getting started button, the padding between the getting started button and the bottom. But 8bits is responding to, first Snubble posted the link. And even before that, Clayman said, hopefully you're doing good, 11 Lion. I'm doing fantastic. I'm having a bit of a I'm distracting myself day, which these days actually do kind of I'm trying to word this in a not as harsh way. So I judge myself pretty harshly. I'm sure you know this. And when I distract myself during work hours, jump straight in it. When I distract myself during work hours, I'm the hardest on myself because someone else is paying me for that time and I want to honor them by doing my work during that time and doing the things that I say that I'm going to do. during that time. And so if I'm doing something like trying to get my bass guitar hooked up to my computer, then that's going to be like a 15-minute break. And that's about it. But today I spent from about 9:30 until just before the stream trying to get the audio to go from my bass guitar to the computer so that I could record some audio later on. But oh. Anyway, yeah. So I'm still distracted by that, by having that in my brains. But at the same time, I'm also having fun. Back to writing code and then thinking about my work. Yes, look at that. Okay, so the section width is good. I'm moving on beyond that. The section width is good. And the button is good there. I would like a little bit more padding on the bottom. So after the get started button, I want it to be the same padding as here. Here row, which is padding bottom 0.7 em. And so I'm going to put that in index so that it applies to all sections. Save. And that way, it just happens. It didn't happen. Okay, so I didn't actually read 8-Bit's thing because there was more conversation still going, but now that they are caught up, Snubble said to 8-Bits, here it is, if you're not aware, the SDF ready to go SDF's page. Then 8-Bit says, so that is today's goal, planning on going through it. Yesterday I was looking into different formulas to help me get a better understanding for some things, point reflection, cross product, using matrix 3, and stuff to inject tangent angle calculations. Wanted to get the knowledge of the math down before jumping straight into it. Are you streaming again today then, 8-Bits? And if so, what time? Relative to now, I should ask. And Snubble says, just jump straight into it. Most shader people just do. Mistakes can look cool. While the URL looks a bit dubious, this site also has a lot of interesting ways to combine distance fields. mercury.sexy/hd_SDF. And just in case you care, SDF means single distance field, or signed distance. Oh my gosh, I can read. Signed distance field, meaning a function that returns the distance to the object. A square, for example, it's signed because the inside has a negative distance. So if you're going from the inside of an object to that object, are you looking for the shortest distance to it? So the distance to the closest point on the edge of the object? I plan to stream more shader stuff today and doing some SDF fields. SDF fields, single distance fields. Going to make some UI stuff, but I normally scheduled to stream at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, which is UTC -3 currently. Yeah, UTC -3. Right? I'm currently, no, UTC -5 is what I said. I needed to check what my UTC was currently. So it's UTC -5. And right now, it is, we're o'clock. UTC. It's 17:58 or 17:38 UTC. And so subtract 1 hour from my time to get to, yeah. Blat to UTC in MySQL 5. I'm so sorry about the issues you were having with that. That sounds terrible. So Juan Van was trying to get date time stuff to work in MySQL, and it happened to be a version issue. And 8-Bit says, shortest distance and negative distance can be used for cool calculations to mask out corners, angles, and turns to create a combination of line segments that can generate shapes. Think of combining shapes together to create UI like Persona 5. Yeah, that does sound cool. It's still not something that is super duper interesting to me, but it is cool. Did I not save? Like, I don't think I would ever choose to learn. I don't think I would ever choose to learn to write stuff in shader language. Yeah. I'd rather have someone that has already made it and use their stuff. With permission, of course. Of course. You see that game durator? I haven't. Making Doom on the fly. And thank you so much for the follow. I was about to shout out who it was, but if you want to be shouted out and thanked personally for the follow, then feel free to type in chat. But if you just are happy lurking, I have anonymous follows turned on, whatever that means. Just to respect you, because I'm the type of person that lurks just about everywhere and loves to hang out on game developer streams, application developer streams. I just love the vibe. And Napalm is here. Hello, Napalm. Nice. Bing. Kick. Browse. Nice. But hello, Dartarsky. Dartarsky. Why didn't it apply here? Hello? Oh, we need to do a commit. So we are done with that section for responsive view. So let us do a quick commit. Updated styles on track transactions section. We'll do a full commit after we are done with the next section. And Tukasoft responds with BitGamey's Doggy Brows. Snabble says to 8bits, also Shader Toy is a good site for examples, mostly 3D, but today it seems down. Oh no. Shader Toy. This is if it does load. This is one that Snobble made of the automated, well, inspired by the Automated Realms logo, which is somewhere down here. You can't see it because it's getting clipped, but whatever. That's going to be fun to do though. Oh, you can see it here in the design though. So he turned this 2D scalable vector graphic into a 3D object using Shader Toy, or using just a shader language. Okay. I'm wondering how you managed to lose track of $500 this month? View all your transactions using our easy to read transaction history lists. Lame. Okay, I was trying to figure out why the getting started button in this section is not getting affected by the styles that we put in. Right, because same thing, the display flex, duh, that we put in the index styling. So let's grab these styles and let's put these as the default in index.razor section content. Better. Much better. Shader Toy is a fun site, says 8bits. Easy. Oh, so since we discuss it a bit, I look at distance field Oh, I look at distance field for a square torus and applied a rotation to it depending on the angle. So he's talking about the one that I just told you he made for me. I wish I had downloaded it, because I think there's a way to export it and download it, if I recall. Maybe I did, but I'd have to look for it. So he was just showing how you could use distance fields in a concrete example. And then 8-Bit says, I feel like distance fields are such an underrated thing. And Snobble says, I totally agree. Cool. The styling is mostly done for this. The only thing that we need to style differently are these images. So let's fix the images. We can't have them be 100% each. They have to be, maybe if I made them the same width as the cards from the previous section, they wouldn't look so weird. So I forced those to be 30 characters wide. And they do get a transform, because I still want them in the middle of the screen. Right. Your transform is going to be different now, though, because we need you to be aha. I should just be able to update the custom CSS properties. Oops. Wrong way. Oh, that's top offset. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's try 40. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I really need to position and size these differently. Let's try a left of 50% for both of them. That way the left edge starts in the middle of the screen for both of them. Then they both get a transform. Translate X. Oh, which means that both of them need position absolute, which is going to throw off the rest of my sizing, isn't it? So to continue the conversation that's been happening, it's a super powerful abstraction, I think is where I left off, and conceptually simple, in my honest opinion, says Snobble. 8-Bit says, think I might try to do a Blazor UI controller shader real quick using web GPU, because, you know, that's just one of those things you throw together and do real quick. Unfortunately, and then Snobble continues, unfortunately, so many shader languages these days. A few years it seemed to be either OpenGL or DirectX. Now it seems every app has their own flavor. And web GPU is weirdly Rust inspired. And 8-Bit says, I use Unity, so focus on the HLSL code and have it compiled to whatever I need. And then Snubble says, rather than C inspired like the rest. And then 8-Bit says, I kind of understand that reasoning though. They tried to make a system that can act closer to Vulkan for module layers, while Oh, I read that right. Okay. While also being similar somewhat to what devs already know. So they wanted to choose a language that they thought a lot of devs use for web dev, such as in Rust. I don't use Rust, but I'm sure a lot of people do. Calc. Minus 50%. Minus our picture left offset. Oh, well, seeing it like that to begin with, I like that better than, like, I don't like where it's positioned currently, of course, but I do like where the top image is up and left as opposed to up and right. Can we see what that looks like, please? In the design? Don't tell the designer I am editing his files without his permission. Right, we need to go to the component. Wrong component. This section. There we go. That's weird. Oh. Let's do this. No. What is your container doing? Fill. Fixed. There we go. Okay, so if I fix it like that first, then I do fill. Please don't break. Thank you. Beautiful. Fantastic. Marvelous. Wonderful. Ah. But then there's this one. Same thing. Change you to fixed. You are fixed. And then change the sides. Dude, where did my... Go with here. Okay. Okay. That should be good. And then we go back to the landing page and we have that one on the left, that one on the right, that one on the left, that one on the right. Yeah, I do like that better. Poop. We'll have to update that. So the conversation continues. Snubble said, I think the flavors that they then transpile to the HLSL, GLSL, or WGLSL. But I don't know for sure. Some of my shader friends claimed Apple required WebGPU to look different from WebGL, as they, Apple, seem to not like OpenGL for some reason. CFilm says Rust is used very little for web development. I will agree with you, I guess. I don't know that for sure, but I I don't find it hard to believe. And it's kind of funny because Will the Fool Learn, I think, was just looking at some Rust on their stream. It's funny. And then Snubble said, but I don't know for sure, just rumors I heard. Apple has their own shader language, Metal. I would have hoped we could all unite on OpenGL, but my have one language when we can... Oh, why? Why have one language when we can have 20? Because everyone needs to come up with their own way of doing things, because otherwise you're not going to differentiate yourself from the competition, and therefore you are not going to make as much money. because everything is driven by that. Napalm says, indeed, Vision OS hates OpenGL. Metal, all the things apparently from what I hear. Snabble says, some other shader friends lamented that Vision OS required a visual shader language, i.e. you code with boxes and lines, which seemed awful. Then Cfilm says, one of the most used web development languages is HTML. You don't say. You don't say. And welcome back, TBD, or welcome from lurk mode. Shout out TBD Gamer. TBD Gamer is another application developer. Yes, he did do that on purpose. So TBD Gamer does .NET development as well. Usually uses Angular for his front end stuff. He is working on a major, I'll call it major, on a major application that is intended to be a project management system or project planning system geared more towards developers. Definitely check out his streams if you have the availability to. But very knowledgeable, very cool to hang out with. Thank you, C Films. One of the most used web design languages is HLSL. I mean, CSS. And hello, Affix? Affix? A fixie? A fixie? Are you a pixie? A fixie? Oh dear. Okay, we're stuck on this. Let's get this to style correctly. Food done cooking, says 8-Bits. Gonna eat, finish my lunch. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us, 8-Bits. Thanks for letting me hang out with you. Cpom says, I hope I am helpful. You definitely have educated us on the most used technologies for web development, and I greatly appreciate that. Super duper helpful. Okay, let's fix this. Let's find out what styles I have applied, top and left, relative to you. Oh, is it that your container is actually... Oh, it is full width. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, let's not make both of them position absolute. But now, what to do? One of the most used languages to make websites interactive is Blazor. Oh, you are so right. So very right. Oh, I'm doing this on container instead of a media query. Was it because I was testing it out? Yeah, I think I was testing out container, but for now, I want to keep that as a media query until I learn how to use containers properly. So we're going to change this back to media. Media. I didn't think that I selected the at. The arroba. Cfilm, super duper helpful. Can I be your friend? Let's see. What would happen if we made this thing a width of 40 And then we had, oh, how am I going to do that? So the thing about telling the images themselves to be position absolute is that they no longer hold space here. So the actual container, and I can further exemplify what I'm talking about by giving it a border 1 pick solid pink. The container would base itself off of the block position with the extra padding and stuff of the elements inside of it, either block or inline or static or whatever. But as soon as you go position absolute, then the dimensions of this object, of this element, are no longer taking up space inside of the container. And so we would need to manually tell the container what height to be, or use clearfix, which I thought I did, so that we can say, go back to where this would be size-wise based off of the elements inside of here that are position absolute. Oh, it's because it's here. That didn't do anything. And let me make sure that clearfix actually has the clear both. It does. Afix says, I don't know much about this usage of C#. I am learning C# using Unity. Awesome. I'm just trying to see the usage of delegates. So far, I see it used for multicast, call mult events, and somehow tied to events, and run a something after something finishes. My question, if you might have some ideas, why would I use them? So there is a bigger reason to use delegates, like the actual, when you're declaring a method as an event handler or a delegate method, essentially, when you're doing Unity development. In web applications and modern C#, we just use events directly. If we are going to be using events at all. And most of the time, like in Blazor, for example, but inside of our components themselves, let's say that I have a button click handler. So I can't think off of the top of my head what that looks like if you're going to declare delegate and then use that as your event handler. But with Blazor, since this component here, which is this section right here, let's say I had a button handler for this get started button. And I said, I want that to be handled by a C# method that I define, handle get started clicked. Then I define that as a private method. And I could, if I wanted to, take the mouse click events. So that automatically sets up my event handling for a button click there to use this method directly. However, if I want something outside of this, so let's say that I wanted the index.razor page that uses this view transaction history section to be the thing that handles the button click there, then I would need to expose a parameter to it, is what it's called in Blazor. Event callback. And we'll do an event callback of mouse event args. Getting started clicked. And so here if on getting started clicked has delegate, and we can make this even easier. We'll make it a task. I'll use a block return or whatever this is called, and then an inline if. That's not how I usually write that. Okay. Else we don't do anything. We are the pirates. Okay. No. Oh wait, I fixed it. I said I fixed it. Dang it. Okay, so in this regard, I don't know how to say that. I've now exposed this parameter, which you can use as an attribute on the component here. Am I in track transactions? Dagnabbit. I meant the track transactions section. So you can see it here now where I'm hooking it up to my own method for handling that. And so that'll be handle getting started. And the reason I would want to do that is, let's say I have one thing that should happen when any of these getting started buttons are clicked, or get started buttons are clicked, then I want to define them in one place and not have to rewrite that code over and over and over run. And so somewhere around here, private task handle getting started clicked. Let's see, van targs e, and then to do handle getting started clicked. For now, I'm just going to return task completed task, or actually, I'm going to write it out. Console right line getting started is clicked. Okay, so now in our console, once it's done with hot reload, then every time that I click on, you got to save it in order for it to do the hot reload thing. Do the thing. Or restart the app because it needs to recompile. But I will get into the delegate itself, the information that I have about using a delegate as opposed to just calling a method directly from an event. And then I have one other example of having an event that gets raised from something outside and then lets all of the delegate methods know that there is something happening that they need to respond to. TBD says, I'm having one of those days where I question whether people have a clue about how software works. I sure don't. We have quality problems, so we're going to highlight the 10 worst areas in the application by errors / customer complaints and fix them without addressing the fact the code base is an active dumpster fire. It sounds terrible. It's not necessarily how software works, it's how software development works. Right, it probably isn't. Actually, why aren't you giving me a console right now? We should be running in WebAssembly, so it should have written out to here. Oh, because I'm clicking the wrong one. And still nothing. Anosa. Let's make sure that it's getting called to begin with. Track transactions section. Okay. Turn you into a block method and console right line. Track transaction section. Nada. What? Not even here. Okay, well, I don't know why it's not doing console log, but I guarantee you that it should be hitting this click handler. Oh, I know what it is. Do I know what it is? Where is your razor? I didn't save this file, is what it is. I didn't save this file. There we go. Jeez. Okay, so you can see where it hits the method for handling the event of a click happening. And then that forwards it to the parent component and says this event happened. So the event of my component sending a message saying a click happened on this button. And I'm going to keep that because I'm going to be using it everywhere. In fact, I would probably pass it down as a cascading parameter. Maybe not. I'll still expose it. Okay, so a fix, you probably, oh, is it a fix? Anyway, you probably know more about delegates than me, so this explanation that I'm about to read out that you give is most likely correct. Isn't a delegate used for events in a way you subscribe to them? I know this is how buttons or say, I think that may be most useful case for, oh man, I'm trying to follow the flow for the, or let everyone know an event has been sent. Yes. Okay. I guess that's why I'd use them. Someone says async 2, so I guess that's part of multicast. Okay. So in this instance, the delegate is this thing here. It's an event callback. So an event callback is probably a wrapper, a thing that makes handling the actual callback easy. So when I said an index.razor on getting started clicked equals this method reference. So this is not the method itself. I'm not executing the method. I'm referencing the method signature address so that it knows that when this delegate is invoked, that this method is one of the methods that is going to handle it. If I had another one, another track transaction section with a different handler, then that one would also get fired, or even the same method, that one would also get fired. The more direct way that I use it in most of my code, most of my applications, is that I have these state classes that are shared throughout my UI, and they are a way for me to share data from one component to another without them needing to be cascading or to have references to each other. I have a state class that is a singleton that's injected into the application at runtime. And that has these public event func of tasks. So these again are what I think might also be delegates, where if something happens in UI state that says the language has changed, then anyone that is subscribed to this event, when I call .invoke, all of those methods will get fired. And the way that you subscribe to the event is by pushing Shift F12 so we can see one, is by using this plus equals syntax to say, for my UI state's active language changed event, subscribe to it and tell it to run handle active language changed. And then when you're done, because we are good developers, I have no idea how this isn't already there. Public void dispose, we unsubscribe from it so that it's not trying to call a null or a disposed method or a method from a disposed object. Okay, so let me know if this gets you a little bit closer to understanding delegates, but again, a better person to ask about delegates, especially when it comes to Unity, would be someone like Clayman or Irish John Games, or so all of the other game devs that are on Twitch, and maybe even Andreas. Um, yeah, but I don't find opportunity to use del yeah, delegates very often. But I know that there is syntax for um, declaring a delegate. I really don't know how to use them. Okay, President Not Sure came in during that conversation, and I didn't want to ignore that. MySQL is a relational database. You are just so full of information, C Films. I hope you get to stick around more often so we can get all of these insightful insights more often. Will you be my bot, actually? My second bot? Right now I have the best bot ever. But you can be my second bot. All right, President Not Sure says, shake my head. And if I do that, my curls, they just try to get into my eyes. My hair got so curly. It used to never do this. Like, if I touched it like this, it would go and just become a big poof on the top of my head. Anyway, it's feelings like that I wish I listened to earlier. It's always been a signal that it's time to leave. Which thing? The TBD thing? Oh, yeah, the TBD comment. Yes, about let's just try to find the top worst complaints and fix them so that people feel like something was done about the application to make it better, because that's what you do. You do things that make people. No, wait, did you actually try to start a game? Did you redeem it? Oh my gosh, you'll still hear my voice, but I'm gonna fix this. Are you at the right port? Port 7231. And then we interact with it. Black screen. Interact. Okay, so the game is not broken. And we go back here. We make sure that the right archery bot source is there. I don't know. TBD. I don't know. I didn't even do anything. I didn't refresh it or anything. It's so finicky. Why's it got to be so finicky? I don't want it to be finicky. Jeez. Pew. So supposedly it works. I don't know. Okay, what was I saying? Fixing stuff. Okay, so wait, it did work. I just oh my gosh. I thought that it didn't work because I didn't see your character on the screen. It's just that I wasn't paying attention. And it did work the whole time. Okay, my bag. So yes, the conversation between President Not Sure and TBD, and all of us, of course, because it was still, public. President Not Sure said you can't really use async await with old events like that, at least not in the proper way. True, but if you do make your event delegate a function of task, then you can. So if you saw that's what I was doing, where even is this? UI state. I'm doing public event function of task so that my listener can be a task of, or not there, that's the wrong one. Wherever it was that I did the language. main page, main layout. Oh, dude, just take me to it. Keep pushing control. Yeah, so here I have I guess an async method handler for my event. If you try to use built-in stuff like I notify state changed, I notify property change is what I said, then those only have public event of action, which is really annoying when you have a lot of async code. Okay. Oh, unless you're talking about delegates specifically. Oh man, I really need to pay attention to when it's a reply to something and when it's just text to me. All right, so then TBD responded to President Usher saying, the voices are shouting loudly, have been for 1.5 of my almost 2 years, but I keep hoping for a different outcome. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. President Usher then said, not that you asked for advice, of course, but I respect you and would like to help out how I can. And that is to encourage you to leave for another company as soon as you can get the energy to do it. Oh. Life's too short. Trite, I know, but it's true. I've been in that situation way too many times and wish I could go back in time and tell that to myself. For me, I definitely have been in those situations and I stick with them because one, it's an ego boost, and I'm talking about this a lot lately because I'm seeing it and I want to acknowledge it in myself and pay more attention to it. But anyway, it's an ego boost that I can stick it out and complete whatever it is that I said I'm going to do, regardless of my circumstances and the environment that I'm in. But as soon as I'm done with that, then I'm going to go somewhere else. And I have been able to stick with that and do that. So I don't know, it's not a life's too short thing because I'm going to be, for not too much longer, working. I'm going to say it like that. Working in order to make money to live the lifestyle that I live. But it would be nice if the work that I had was like the work that I have now, which is super duper enjoyable, and I get to live every day like I'm doing my hobby for work, and just having fun with it. But I am thankful for all of the previous experiences that I stuck with. Anyway, I've been in that situation way too many times. Go back in time and tell myself it's really impossible to change the culture at a company, especially if you are not director level manager. And even then, I've never seen it work. I've definitely affected my team's mentality before, where it used to be a very confrontational situation and turned it into a more mindful team. And I was very happy with the team by the time I left, but still didn't like the work situation in general. 9/27. So September 27th, I've been doing this 25 years. I've had that voice 4 times in 5 roles. Feels like a failure every time. Yeah, it's that feeling of failing that I struggle with, that I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to turn this into a situation where I do my thing to the best of my ability, get my part done. Most frustrating place to be. Well, I'm capable, not given the actual leadership responsibility, just title. I did mod love. TBD actually did archery and it worked. I just wasn't paying attention. Then President Not Sure said, I just wish I had someone I knew at those times to encourage me to leave. Sometimes it's hard to get the motivation to do it without encouragement. That is absolutely true. Cool, thanks. Someone just came online that uses Unity. Thanks for taking your time explaining what you know. Absolutely. You're probably already gone by now, but as I mentioned, Irish John has talked a lot about delegates on his stream, and he uses them in his really big game. That's what I would call it, called Rise of Piracy. He streams in about an half an hour from now. Where did those 30 minutes go? I looked down and it was 11:55. What? 11:55 my time, which was 30 minutes ago. Man, we're already in September. Black screen, dark mode. Game worked fine. I know. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Man, so helpful. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. President Not Sure says funk of task is a better way to deal with that. I agree. Life's too short to be constantly miserable. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I do have a lot of other passions in other areas that I have so much joy from, that a terrible job it's stressful, it's annoying, and it does get in the way of being able to enjoy those times, but it's not unbearable, even though it feels like it is at the time. Hindsight, man. And that's why I wish I had realized that what I had to do earlier. If you have a shorter term goal, you can set and leave once that's done. That would be healthy. Sometimes the situation is hopeless. However, it really depends. Denver has weird time zones. I don't know about weird. It's just mountain time. PostgreSQL is a relational database. So good. We're learning all of the terms, all of the technologies, what they're used for, what they are. Man, so helpful. Okay, so I am going to fail at finishing styling this view transaction part. So I'm going to go ahead and commit what we did today to the repo. I was showing here what happens when you use position absolute in a child container and you can't get back the sizing. I know that there is a CSS rule, and I completely thought it was clear fix or clear both, in order to get back where the bottom of this element should be relative to the container, so that the container still sizes itself as if there's something inside of it. But I don't know. I don't know where that is. So instead, maybe what I could do, man, I really don't want to do it this way, is to have a fixed height in the responsive view. I really don't want to do that. And then position the left appropriately. Okay. And it's getting there. You can see that they're already stacking on top of each other, which means that I need to reset my left to 50%, and they should be done. And I'll also get rid of that border. Cut to save. Wait, why did you? I did it backwards is why. Let's swap these transforms. But I still don't know why it's not moving to the middle the way that it's supposed to. Yeah, it's supposed to move to the middle, then transform left half of the width of the element itself, minus for one of them the picture offset, which I put here. So let's do one font size. And then the other one is plus, so that it moves to the right by that amount. Yeah. We'll figure it out. I don't know what's going on with it. We'll have to do that on Monday because we are at the end of the stream, and today is Wednesday, which means our next stream is going to be on Friday, and Fridays on this channel are community days. And what community days are, community day, are days in which I try to focus on the, on my nose, about to sneeze, on the chat and anything that you guys want to bring up as far as topics that are hopefully relevant to this channel's content. I'm trying to get to Twitch to find out what is going on the Twitch. All right, we got Seto. Looks. Will the Fool Learn just ended his stream? Ooh. Tomat Salat. Code Rad. And BitGamey. Those are the four that I am currently going to be lurking on, because I usually only lurk on 4 streams at a time. And Tomat just went offline. Oh wait, Tomat. Salat. Okay. Yes, I'll take raid suggestions if you have one. But yes, as Dukasoft posted, I post my videos, my VODs, to YouTube at some point between this stream and the next stream, usually before it starts. But yeah, it's always easy for me to raid BitGamey. One, I love his streams, I love his personality, I love hanging out with him, and I think everyone should hang out with him. And 2, it's easy to raid and run because he knows that I will be back. Yeah, seriously, that's what it felt like to me, DVD. And that's what I get for wasting so much time trying to set up my audio equipment instead of doing my work stuff. I'll make up for it. Yeah. Anyway, so if I don't see any raid suggestions, we are just gonna hit up BitGamey, who's currently working on his post-jam game that he wanted to finish up because he didn't actually finish it in time for his jam. And then he will be, sounds like, participating in the Journ Jam coming up. So he'll most likely be doing that, but he's been working on another game called Can He Beat You, which it sounds like he kind of dropped the Homeward Hound game, or he finished it maybe, I don't know. For Can You Beat You, a 2-player racing game for 1 player is how he calls it. Anyway, that's where we're heading, since I didn't get any suggestions. That's it for me for today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for letting me hang out with you for this time. And yeah, I don't know what else. That's it. Ciao for now. The raid has been created. Oh, at the end of Monday's stream, our person asked if this was my exercise for the day. No, my exercise happens at 7:30 a.m. my time, and I have a YouTube playlist that I pick one of the exercises from depending on which one we've done the furthest in the past or sounds like a good thing to do for that day, and a whole bunch of other factors mixed into which one I choose. Usually it's just one that we haven't done for a while, but we have like 4 or 5 different exercise guides is what I'll call them, and just as many different types of exercise. Anyway, that's it. It wasn't my exercise. I already did it.